The two-time Super Bowl champ, Bryant McFadden, here to offer thoughts on the Steelers and, yes, on the divisional rival here in the Bengals. We've come to know what these Bengals are. They're going to run it up. They're going to score points. They're going to lose. On the Pittsburgh side of things, I'm not sure I knew these Steelers existed. The passing game. What did you make of it this Sunday?
Once upon a time, we lived in a world where it would take 3 games for a Pittsburgh Steelers-led offense to score 40-plus points.
No doubt.
But in today's NFL world, it only takes 1. This was a game.
Once upon a time was like 2 weeks ago, but go ahead. You're rolling. You're rolling.
Yeah,
you're rolling.
But this was the game, me personally being a defender, you guys know I'm a bit biased when it comes to my defense. But I wanted to see what could we do in terms of the Pittsburgh Steelers if the opposing offense was scoring on your defense. Guess what? We saw that today, and Russell did not blink. The entire offense, Arthur Smith, they did not blink. Russell was in his bag today. He played phenomenal football. He was efficient. He was calm. The offensive line did what they were supposed to do. Najee Harris ran the ball well. He caught the ball well. George Pickens did George Pickens things. And this is why we're starting to see a team excel in a position that we haven't seen in quite some time.
Yeah.
Just based on the offense and the aggressive nature that Russell has implemented within the offense with him being QB1. Taking shots down the football field. 29 of 38, 414 yards, 3 touchdowns. We haven't seen that from a quarterback since Big Ben, the guy I played with. He's been retired for quite some time. In the car pickup line, picking up the kids. It's been a long time since we've seen this type of service and production from an offense coming from Allegheny County.
And they needed it in this one. 38 points allowed, as we said, very un-Steeler-like, but taking the ball away in key moments. As for Cincinnati, in losses this year, they're scoring 27.9 points per game in losses. They've scored 99 points their last 3 games. They're 0-3 in those games. Is this strictly a defensive issue in Cincinnati right now?
Defense, and I think they lack talent as well. I think those are 2 things that will really put you in positions to lose ball games regardless of how talented or successful your offense is. And that's what we're seeing now. I can tell you this much too, Joe. The offense is starting to look a bit tired because they've been carrying the weight of their team's issues on their shoulders the entire season. Yes, you saw some good numbers from the offense. They put up 38 points. That's winning football. But in moments, it felt like they were a bit fatigued. And that's expected. Because every game for the Cincinnati Bengals as a team, the mindset offensively is like, yo, we have to put up at least 30 points to be in a position to win ball games. And if you do that, one would think you should win ball games. But it does something to the morale when you continue to score in the rate the Bengals have been scoring, and you're still losing. You're still losing. This was a team that came into this season with not just playoff aspirations, but championship-like aspirations because of their quarterback and how prolific their offense has been. They've been the ultimate disappointment. But their defense is something that has really surprised all of us in terms of how bad they've been, because this has been more than a serviceable unit since Joe Burrow has been there. The defense has been a team that could make plays. They're not making plays right now. And every offense they go against, they have their best effort.
8 losses this season for Cincinnati, just to frame it a little bit differently here. Joe Burrow in those losses, 308 passing yards per game, 20 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, and they can't find a way to win.
Just think about how Joe feels. How the entire offense feels.
You can only do so much.
Because when you've been in the locker room, you don't want to always look at one side and be like, man, y'all the reason why we losing. But those are the conversations you're having internally. Man, every week, bruh, like, what are we doing?
It's almost unspoken.
At some point,
at this point,
stand your ground. Play your part. Every week, we got to score 30-plus to be able to be in a game. And if we don't score 30-plus, we get them blown out.
The standard of play is not there, but the standard for the Steelers remains. They now clinch a 21st consecutive winning season. Mike Tomlin, the latest steward of that streak, which is now tied for the longest in NFL history. Talk to me about that standard that you were a part of. How do they continue to do this when everybody preseason said this is the year it doesn't happen?
It's a mind thing in Pittsburgh. When you go to Pittsburgh, when you walk into the facility, you instantly see 6 sticky Lombardis. From the 70s and the 2000s. Those are foundational pieces that have been laid down to be able to continue to build upon. Every coach that has been in that building, guess what? They've added bricks to the building.
There's only been 3 coaches in that building for the last 100 years.
And they all did great jobs in adding bricks. They didn't take, hey, Joe, you know some coaches go to organizations and they take bricks from the building. They don't add. In Pittsburgh, whoever that said head coach is, they add bricks to the building. So the standard is the standard. That's why the fan base is so loyal. That's why the fan base believes year in and year out, we have a fighting chance because we've seen success every year, the consistency. Now it's about getting into the tournament and moving some chairs and flipping some tables over.
Making some rings.
That's what we want to see now. But this was a much needed win because to my point earlier, I said, what happens if our defense can't get any stops? Can Russ stand up?
They showed it.
Did he?
Yeah.
He did it. And he threw to a lot of people, too. I mean, I love how he just beat a point guard. You know, Russell is having fun out there.
I thought I was going to catch one.
Yeah. You ready?
No towel?
Not today.
No towel
today?
today?
Not today.
Well,
yeah.
The standard is expected, and you can expect a towel at a later date. Bryant McFadden here with his thoughts on the Steelers collecting yet another winning season. And here it comes in a win in division against the Cincinnati Bengals. We'll have full highlights coming up from this one next on CBS Sports HQ. There were numbers, so surely there were highlights. That's next. Don't move. Watching Game Day Scoreboard.